Hi, my name is Sarah from Lux Molds, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make the famous star and cross cement tiles. We are going to be using a polyurethane rubber mold, which is this one, and it's very flexible and durable. If you take care of this and store it properly, it can last for up to 1,000 uses. So this is our first supply that we're going to need. We're also going to need some type of mold release agent, 2 buckets, one for mixing and one for measuring out your cement in. We're going to need a small shovel, and this is good for scooping out your cement and if you're mixing it by hand. However, I do recommend some type of electric mixer. This drill attachment works really well for the batch size that we do in our molds. However, if you're doing multiple batches all at once, I do recommend having a more heavy-duty mixer like this steering wheel mixer. You just don't want to burn your drill out. And then we're going to need a scale, one that measures in grams. And then we're going to need our protective wear. So some gloves and also a mask, especially if you're not in a well-ventilated area. For our ingredients, we're going to be using the Cement All Rapid Set. I love this because it does set in 15 minutes, so you do need to work with it rather quickly. However, it dries in 2 to 3 hours, which is really fast. So you can pump out a bunch of batches in one day just having one tile mold. And then we're going to have water, of course. Our next ingredient is some type of coloring pigment. This is optional, but this can come in powder form or liquid form. And then also our super plasticizer, which makes our tiles even stronger than they already are going to be since they are concrete. This allows us to reduce the amount of water that we put in our mixture, but not sacrifice on the viscosity, the workability, the flowability, whatever you want to call it, of our mixture so that we're able to pour it into the molds and get a really smooth, clean finish. So with that, let's go ahead and jump right into our recipe. The first thing that we're going to do is take our main mixing bucket. We're going to place it on our scale, make sure that it's in grams, and then we're going to go ahead and zero out that bucket weight. Then we're going to add our water, and for this recipe it calls for 218 grams of water. Let's go ahead and pour this in here. All right. We're going to keep it on the scale, and we're going to go ahead and zero that out. And then we're going to take our super plasticizer next, and this is going to be 15 grams. This is 1% of the cement weight. So we're going to go ahead and shake this in here, make sure the scale, is cleared out to 0. Shake this in here, and we're going to measure it to 15. We kind of want to disperse it to help avoid those clumps. All right, there we go. And then I'm going to give this a good mix before we add our coloring. Okay, once you have that, you're going to place it back on the scale. You're going to zero out that scale. And then we're going to add our coloring. So you can add up to 5% of the cement weight in coloring. So that would be up to 72 grams. However, I want to go for a little lighter brown color. This is pretty dark brown. So I am just going to add about 2% of coloring. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and give this a mix. All right, now that that is ready, we are going to take our cement bucket and we are going to measure out our cement. So I'm going to place this on the scale, go ahead and zero that out. All right, now that we have that, I'm just going to go ahead and get our molds ready. Because we only have 15 minutes to mix this up, I want to make sure that the mold is ready so we can move quickly when it starts to set. So I'm going to go ahead and place my tile mold on this board. It allows me to move it around when the mixture is still wet. And then I'm going to take my mold release and I'm going to give it a generous spray on our mold. Okay, now we are ready to mix. So what we're going to do is pour our cement mixture into bucket number 1 slowly as we mix, or a little bit at a time, and mix until the cement is all poured in the bucket and mixed in thoroughly. Okay, so once this is good and mixed up, so it's going to be like a milkshake consistency, just don't want it too watery, we're going to go ahead and start pouring this mixture into our shapes. And again, we just want to pour it slowly as not to overfill it. And now that we have all the shapes poured, we're just going to go ahead and tap out all of those air bubbles trapped underneath the surface. You can use an orbital sander, you can use a vibration table for concrete, you can use a lot of different things to vibrate this. All right, once you have that good and tapped out, then we are going to wait 2 hours and then I will come back and demold these shapes. It's been a few hours and now it's time to demold these. So there you go. You have your star and cross interlocking tiles. Well, I hope you enjoyed that tutorial and that you're excited to jump into making your own authentic, handmade, luxury concrete tiles. It's really simple and it's extremely affordable, and it just adds a statement piece that you won't be able to get most anywhere else. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel because I will be putting out more videos just like this one. And of course, I have the recipe linked down below along with the supplies and the links to those supplies. So please let me know if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.